guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do stage makeup. As you can see, I've already done it. I wanted to pre-record a little bit of the video. So my name is Roma Watkins, if you don't know me. If you do, hello again. I first started working for New Village Arts about 10 years ago. I was 12. I was young Alma in Summer and Smoke. Christiane was actually directing, and one of my really good friends, Jonah Girk, was also my opposite. There's a fun story about that. You can ask any of us for the details. And that was my first play with New Village Arts. And then the summer after that, I did Wilderness. And then I kind of was around, but I was mostly focusing on dance. I'm also really big into ballet, and I'm a ballet teacher. So I was doing a lot of dance and kind of going back and forth between dance and theater. And then a couple years ago, I auditioned for Legally Blonde and was super excited to be able to get cast. And that was kind of my return to the NVA stage. And then from there, I've done other musicals, and I've done box office and front of house work, and I've also done assistant stage management work when they needed it. So I've been super, super happy to be around for so long. New Village Arts has some of the most wonderful people I've ever met. I'm really missing all of you guys. This is probably one of the first times I've ever been away from a theater or a dance studio for more than a week since I was a kid. So it's been really hard. So I'm really excited to put on the stage makeup and let you guys know kind of what the pros do. And a lot of what we do today is going to be, you can pare this down and do it for every day, or you can do it more exaggerated for bigger stages. So let's get going. Thanks for joining me. Stage makeup will differ between what you're doing. So if I were going to be doing ballet, it would be very different. It'd be a little more intense in the eyes, or it'd be a bigger wing, probably a bolder lip, things like that. I love makeup, so I'm really excited to go over that with you guys today. And here I will put a photo of kind of just what I'm using. But a lot of this stuff is, you can switch it in or switch it out based on what works for your skin or based on your price range. I know makeup can be super, super expensive, but it doesn't have to be. A lot of the stuff that I'm using, I've just kind of gathered over the years. Some of these products I just switched into, but I'll kind of go through it. So I already have a clean face and hands because I am going to be using my hands a little bit. So you just want to make sure that they're clean and you're not going to spread anything crazy on your skin. Then I like to start with a moisturizer. I use this one. It's great. Just any sort of barrier on your skin will be really good. I'm not using too much, just about this much. And I like to kind of put it on my areas that get drier. Now, if you have oily skin, or you're using let's say a Ben Nye Cream Cake foundation, you won't need to do this. But my skin tends to get really, really dry, especially when we go in with powder in a bit. That'll kind of remove a lot of moisture. I also like to tie back or pin back my hair. Usually if I'm getting ready for a show or something, it's just in a crazy bun, but start with that. Just a little clip. I'm coming to you from this quarantine from my bathroom, so please don't mind the lighting over here. It's just the lights reflecting. And when I need to get close up, I'm going to look into the mirror up here. I also have a light from over here. We're doing what we can. So I just start right with foundation. I do concealer after, so I'm going to be using this MAC Pro Longwear foundation. I just started using it. I really like it, but you can use whatever you want. I like to use a little stick foundation sometimes. I put a pea-sized amount on my hand, and you can kind of use that as a palette to run it around. Now, you can use a sponge, one of those big sponges. You kind of just tap it. I like to use a brush, just a really thick brush, because it's a lot faster, and usually I'm kind of in a rush. So I'll just dot it around. Kind of just rub it in. You want to be nice to your skin. I'm using really, really light pressure. I'm not trying to drag my skin around. And I do have a couple little blemishes and things that this one does a really good job at covering, because I don't really like to use a lot of concealer. I don't like to put anything too heavy on my skin. I find that it just doesn't look good on me. So kind of just buffing and blending this around. I like to put a little bit over the eyes. Some more on the forehead. So you'll see it looks super, super light, but then it buffs out, and you kind of want to go in circles. Be really careful around the hairline. You don't want a harsh distinction. You just kind of want to buff and blend. Go into your neck a little bit. And if this is a much different color, like if you bought this foundation in, let's say, the summer, it might be a little darker, so you want to make sure you really like blend into your neck. All right, and I've just about used up everything that was on my hand, and it looks reasonably blended. And now I'm going to go in with concealer just a little bit. I'm using this one, but you can use whatever you like. I just have a couple like active breakouts. We're all people, we get them. So I just want to cover up this one, maybe this one. And I just put like the littlest amount. And I just like to tap it in with my finger. I find it gives a much more like natural finish, and sometimes the brushes can remove product, but we want to leave it on the skin. And your finger won't absorb as much of the product as like a brush would. All right, so not bad. You can kind of do this in whatever step, but once you put the foundation, you need to put powder. So I'm using this one, but you can just use like a L'Oreal. I just like to use a loose powder, but you can use a pressed powder too. We won't need that much, so I'm just gonna take some of this and put it in the lid. Ooh. And then I'm gonna take a big fluffy powder brush. You can kind of tap it into the lid like that and spread it around and get it really like saturated on the brush. I don't know if you can see that. And then I like to pat it under my eyes first. This is called setting. It's called setting powder. When you use oilier foundations and things like that, you want to take away the shine and make it sit on the skin with a powder. This will also prevent your makeup from coming off on, like if you give somebody a hug and you pull away and your foundation's on their jacket. We've all done it, but it's not the most fun. So this will kind of help prevent that. And I like to use a light touch, but again, if you're using like a really greasy like foundation, you can go in a little heavier with the powder, especially if you have oilier skin. I don't really have any extra oil on my skin right now, and I didn't put that much lotion, so I'm kind of good to go. So I'll just put that to the side. And then the rest of the face, you can kind of do in any order. This is going to be a little bit more of like a natural theater makeup. So something that I would do for maybe like the NVA stage, which if you've been there, you know it's a little closer. It's a black box. It's only 99 seats. But if I were like in San Diego, say we have the Poway Center for the Performing Arts, which is about 900 seats, and they have a full balcony. So I would do my makeup a little more intense or something like that. But this is really good to translate to everyday life. You would just use a little bit less of product. So if I were doing like a photo shoot or something, or going to like a wedding, I would still do this kind of foundation. And you can see I'm a little washed out right now because I basically took all the color out, and then the next few steps are we're going to put the color back in. So you could do contour right now, you could do eyes, you could do eyebrows, whatever. I'm just going to do my eyebrows because they don't take me that long. I just use like a really skinny little like pencil, and I kind of just draw them in. I just go in between the regular borders. This is like when you're coloring, you have to go inside the lines. I don't do anything too crazy. I find that they're usually fine. If I'm wearing a wig in a show and the wig is, let's say, blonde, I might use a powder instead and a little bit of a lighter color to draw these in. And vice versa, if the wig is like black, I might draw them in a little darker. Then I just use this little, they call it like a spoolie, this little just like pipe cleaner thing on the end to kind of like soften out the strokes that I made with the other end. And then for me, my eyebrows are done. You can also use just like a clear brow gel to kind of set them. I don't always do this, but we'll go for it. There, and that's pretty much done. You can see pretty much all the hairs are going the same direction, just basic. And then from here, I like to do my eyes. So the eyes are kind of my favorite part. So you'll just need some eyeshadows and some eyeliner and some mascara, and then optionally some fake lashes. I just got this pack from like a discount store. And then in terms of eyeshadow palettes, you basically are just going to need like 3 colors or 4 colors, so you don't need to go crazy. I have this little one from Smashbox that I like. You can tell it's pretty used up. It just has very neutral colors. And then I also have this one from Tarte from forever ago. And again, it's just very neutral. Oops, sorry. Don't know how to do this. It's just very neutral. So I'll probably use this one today just for more range. But again, you can get away with like 2 or 3 colors. Something else that I like to use in my eye look is a highlighter. You might have seen this on social media or something. People do those like really big, like glowing cheekbones. But sometimes I'll use this one from Jeffree Star, or I just like this little one from ColourPop. But I like to do that on my eyes. I think it helps a lot. Then we'll finish the face with it later. So I start with eyeshadow. I like to start with just like a neutral type of base color on my eyelid. And again, we're just doing a very neutral makeup. So I'm going to take a brush that looks about like this. And I'm going to take this color. And I'm basically just going to pat it onto my eyelids. Like that. And eye makeup is all about building up the look as you go, so you don't need to go super harsh or intense right away. So I've kind of packed the brush with color, and I'm just going to put it on only my eyelid, just to start with a little bit of a base. Sometimes I feel a little like it's daunting before you actually start, but then I feel like once I do the lid, I can kind of like build around it. So I just like to lay a little color down on the lid, and then let's go into the crease. So I'm going to grab a really big fluffy brush and kind of like a light pinkish brownish color, probably more of like a neutral color, and we're going to just put the brush in your crease right here and just go back and forth really little, almost no pressure on the brush. I'm not digging in like that. Just going back and forth, and then this can kind of get bigger as you go. Basically want to deposit color in the crease and then blend it out as you go, so it goes in and then you can kind of like, you know, out like that. And this helps blend the lid color up as well. So now I just have this like faint little bit like that. So I'll do this on the other eye. And then because we're doing stage makeup, I'm going to do a really, really intense crease, and that'll later connect into my wing. And again, you can do these same principles for everyday makeup, just either lighter colors or lighter application. I like to take a small fluffy brush, so it's about this size compared to the other one. It's a lot smaller. Let's see. I'm just going to go in with like a, I'm actually going to mix 2 of these. I'm going to mix this one and this one. It's like a orangey brownie color and then like a red. I don't know how to describe these. And then really carefully, we're just going to start going into the crease and kind of just drawing a line within your crease. And then smooth it out. So this has a little more definition now. And you always want to start with bigger brushes and then go down to smaller brushes as you go, and that'll really help with blending and with definition. I find that a lot of the time the mark of difference between someone who you would look at it and go, oh my gosh, they're so good at makeup, is usually the blending and how they're really working the products into the skin. And then just crease on the other side, kind of just blending as you go. Try not to get too much on the lid. Okay, so I would call this like a base eye look. My lighting is a little intense. I'm using my desk lamp, but I would just say it basically is just a little bit of like a blown out smoky brown eye. I'm gonna blend this side a little more. So I would say this is kind of a base, and then from here, depending on the show, I would do different things to it. So let's pretend that I was in something that I just needed a very basic eye look. So I'm going to take, you can use whatever brush you want. This one's kind of flat and pointy. It's really good for shading. And I'm going to take a really dark brown. So I'm going to take this one, just on the tip of it, just on the very tip, and start blending into the outer corner. See that? Don't worry. Don't panic at this point. It'll get better. And I kind of like to draw a bit of a triangle. Do be careful in this part. Don't take it out too far towards the eyebrow. Try and keep it really towards the corner of your eye. And then you can blend it in a little bit. like that. And then I want to put a little bit more on my eyelid. So we kind of have some on the outer half of the eyelid and then the outer corner. So it looks something like that. And this looks messy, but we're going to clean it up. And if you're not sure what the outer corner is, you have this crease in your eye right here. Excuse my light. And then when you close your eye, it's kind of like this area where you would draw like a wing. So I'm going to take that color again. Go in really carefully at first. Really super careful. I kind of like to go over and then drag it down. And then drag it up to make that kind of wing shape. Now the eyeliner is going to come in at the end and be like the finishing touch, but you want all of the shadows to be in place first so we can draw on top of it. And you want them to all kind of end up blending together. This side's actually a bit dark. So now I'm going to take a really big fluffy brush. Actually, we can use the same one we used before. And I'm going to take, I have this just really, really light. It's like a little pinky color. I'm going to take some of that and just blend. I'm just going to draw between this and the edge of the brown kind of out. And this is going to help diffuse. Do you see how that looks less crazy? This side has been blended and this side has not. So I'm going to take that pink again. Kind of go over the top and then a little bit more pink and out. You could do this with a dry brush, but I like to use a light color because it kind of helps it to like mix in with the foundation and the previous layers. And then go up in the crease. And then from here, it looks a little like there's not enough color for my taste, so I'm gonna add some like orange tones. So I'm just gonna grab whatever other brush I have. It looks just like the other one. I'm gonna grab like a peachy orange, and I'm just gonna pat it in right here where we just blended, because I just want it to be warmer. The color I was using was very cool, so I just put it in right there. And then we do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm actually going to take that same, it's like a peach color, and put it on my lid because I think it looks really pretty. And makeup should be about having fun. So don't worry too much if something doesn't go as planned or if it looks really dry or something like that. Just play with it. Usually it'll turn out nice if you have fun as you go. And then I think that's about good. Okay, so from here I would say my eyeshadow is about done. And again, this is pretty natural. I could walk out to the grocery store like this and not have a huge problem. I'm actually gonna go back in with a different brush and the brown again and just blend back in. And a lot of it is about fine tuning. So a really good trick is to do your makeup and then take like a few steps back and see if you can see it in the mirror. And if you can't see it at all, you need to put more on for stage. So a lot of the time I like to do that kind of base eye look and then just keep adding more until I'm happy with it. I'm kind of terrified of like having a raccoon eye or doing too much, so I tend to start really little and then work up. Let's see. Okay, I think we're done with shadow for now. We're going to get it back out in a minute. We need to do eyeliner. I usually do this after. Now, if you're very new with eyeliner, you may want to do the eyeliner before so you can use makeup remover to kind of fix it. But I'm just going to wing it. I didn't need to make a pun there. We're just going to go for it. So I like to start with just like a regular pencil. I like the ones that roll up. And then we're going to put it just right on, we're not going to do a wing or anything. We're just going to put it right on the like lash line. And then we'll go in with a liquid right after. So I'm just going to kind of do this in the mirror. And I do like to hold my eye a little bit because when I close my eyes, it like flutters a lot. And it can be difficult. You shouldn't pull your eye skin a lot because it's very delicate. But I kind of do anyway. It'll be our secret. So I'm just going to go in right here. And I just move it over really gently, waiting for the product to kind of heat up and melt into the skin.
Do you see how there's like a little bit right there? And the rest is not as thick, so I'm just gonna even it out. And you just wanna use a little teeny bit of this. This will kind of connect the liquid eyeliner down into the lashes so you don't have like a harsh distinction. And stage makeup is all about accentuating your natural features. So even though it is a lot of makeup, you don't want to do anything too crazy. You don't want like, when we wing our eyeliner, we don't want it like out here, right? We just want it like right there. It's just about accentuating your features. So I've done that part. I'm gonna take my liquid eyeliner. I use these ones from ColourPop. They're really good. They're really dark. They dry instantly, and they're only like $6. They have them at Ulta and stuff. So I like to draw a little triangle. So now that I've filled this in a little bit around my lashes, if I were doing this eye, I would start kind of here and touch it down and draw it down and then build a little triangle. So I'm gonna do this right here so you guys can see. Might look a little crazy. So I just like to draw our first line, 1, and then connect it over 2. And that's the beginning of our wing. And then I'll close my eye and drag it over a little bit to connect it in. And then that's usually about good. You can make this as intense as you want or a little less. I think I'm going to make it bigger. Yeah, there we go. And this one has like a super fine tip. It's like a felt tip, so it works really well. So let's try to do the other side, try to make it match a little bit. So we'll just put it down, drag, drag, and over, and then I'll connect. And you want to go right next to the eyelashes for this. I messed up a little bit, so got some of my lower lashes, but all good. So this side looks the best. And then this side could be a little pointier. So I think I'll go up a little bit. You don't want to mess with this too much after a certain point because it can kind of go a little weird and then you might want to just start over. Okay. And usually when I do eyeliner, I'll have like a little mirror or I'll get right up close next to the mirror so you can really see what's going on. Super important. So the eyeliner I would say is done for now. And then we need to do bottom eyeliner. So I can never figure out bottom eyeliner on myself. So I just like to use a really, really dark shadow and like a little chisel brush. So I'm using a shadow that's really dark brown, almost black. And then you want to just go right basically on the outer edge of, if you're looking straight, you don't want to put anything to the inside of your pupil in your eye. You want to put it all to the outside, and that helps open up and give this like 50s glamour look. So I'm just going to start about right here and just kind of tap it, work out and tap, work out and tap. And you don't want to connect this all the way over. I left some space right here, and that helps a lot to really like open the eye. You can see the difference between this eye and this eye. I'm going to do that again on the other side. Start outside of your pupil, little tap, little tap, little tap. It's kind of like a tap and blend dragging motion. So I just finished this eye. Perfect. So from here, let's see, what do we want to do? I would usually do my contour, so we'll go ahead and do that now. You can use a bronzing powder, you can use a contour. We're using powder today. If you wanted to do a cream contour, we should have done that before we powdered our face. You always want to put cream on cream and powder on powder. So I'm going to take, this is actually an eyeshadow from MAC. It's this like brownish one, and then I just have like a big kind of chunky angled brush, and I just grab some of this. And then I like to put it, you've probably seen people do the like fish face thing. And then where it digs in is how you find your cheekbone and how you know where your contour is going. So I'm just going to start kind of drawing a line like that. and the line is going like this. I'm just blending quickly to kind of get it really like married into the skin. Then I like to take a little more and put it back on my jaw, back here. I find it looks a lot nicer on me. And now it might take you a little bit to figure out how to do your contour and your blush because everyone's face is different. I like to start out light and then get darker as I go. If you do want a bit of a harsher line, pro tip, you can take your brush and hold it like this so that it thins out. So you can get your product first, thin out your brush, and then you can really draw like a line right there. Don't know if you can see it. It's still pretty light. I don't want it to be too crazy, but right there. And then you take the rest of the brush and you just blend it out. And there we go. That's one cheek. You can see it like that. And no contour. And this is a really great tip, even for daily life. Just make your cheekbones kind of pop. And I'll just go in the other side and repeat the process. It's a lot of blending, a lot of adding. I'm going to do the thing where we squish the brush so it's flat and draw a little line. And the line will basically go from the like middle of your ear down to your lip. Like that's kind of where most people's cheekbones sit. If your cheekbones sit really high, you might just need to put it right under. Or if you wanted to kind of change your face shape, let's say you're applying somebody who's more gaunt or sickly, you would probably do a lot of this to make your cheeks look really hollow. But just for basic natural, we just want to accentuate what our faces are doing naturally. So put it on the cheekbone, and then I'll put some down onto my jawline. Now you can contour kind of as much or as little as you like. Some people go ahead and I'll do full contour. You can go under your jawline like this. And I kind of will like push my head out to see where my jaw is. And then under, really just, this will kind of help like really shape your face and like tame anything up that's going on. This is also great if you're playing a character who's like much younger than you are. Kids usually have much less body fat and like really pointy little like chins and jaws, so that can help a lot too. So I have the contour done. You can see it in here and in here. My cheekbones are still bare, so why don't we go ahead and put some blush on. The last show that I did was Sweet Charity over at Oceanside Theater Company. So it was like a 60s theme, so I have this really, really bright like mod pink blush. This doesn't look that bright actually, but this is a hot pink mirror and this is the blush, so it's very close. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this one. I just have this small blush brush, it's a little pointed. I just kind of tap, tap, tap. I really don't need that much. Like this is probably too much blush, you can tap some off. And then I just go right on the like apples of my cheeks. Now blush again, this depends a lot on your face shape. You don't want to put it inside of your pupil to start. You want to put it kind of right on the outside of your pupil, kind of right on the top of where we put our contour line. And I like to just tap the brush and move it. I don't like to drag it. My skin gets really red anyway, so I don't like a whole lot of blush. Anyway, we're gonna drag over like that, and I like to kind of blend it into the contour. It makes it look a lot more natural. And then I feel like that's a bit too much. I'll take some of that away. Okay, and then I also like to put some on my nose. You can skip this, but I think it looks cute. Just put a little on the nose, and I like to put a little bit inside the cheeks as well. But start with the regular application. And this is kind of just adding color back into your face, and I tend to look more natural with a little bit of red anyway. So sometimes I'll even put this up on the top of my forehead. And at this point, I feel like my forehead looks way different than the rest of my face. My lighting isn't the best, but you can see up here, it just looks really like white, and this is all kind of nice and natural. So I'm gonna take our contour brush again with our contour powder and just go up on the forehead a little bit. And this is a really good like stage trick as well. Once you learn the rules of makeup, you can kind of break it and bend it. But the basic like contour lines would be cheekbones, forehead, jawline, and then you can also do the sides of the nose. I'll show you how to do that. I don't usually do the sides of my nose, but you'll take your regular brush, make it, I like to tap it first to get like even powder dispersion, and then you want to make it really little, and I'm just going to use the like middle part, and you just go right on the side of your nose. You probably can't see it, but this side has the contour. And again, it's a very light color. You probably want to pick a color that's maybe 2 shades darker than your skin. I'm using this one. Nothing too dark. And then just right on the side of the nose. And then you can blend that out a little bit. And then you can bring that up into your eyes. And I'm looking and I'm seeing a spot on my eye that looks not quite blended. So I'm just going to grab the brush we used before, one of them, and just blend it a little bit more just until I'm happy with it. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then, okay, usually after blush, I go back into mascara. I kind of switch back and forth between face and contour so I can get everything arriving at the same time. I'm just going to use Great Lash right now. I have a fancy mascara, but I ran out. And this one is just fine. I like the big brush, but you can do whatever you like. I will be putting on fake lashes, so I'm going to be doing a little bit less mascara than I usually would if I weren't wearing fake lashes. So one of the tricks with mascara is you want to put it right at the base of your lashes, then you want to wiggle it as you pull out. So that looks like this. Get a couple coats on first, like real normal, and then wiggle and out, wiggle and out. You want to make sure the lashes are separated. You don't want them clumping. And then while it's kind of wet, try not to blink super harsh because it can, like, I'm sure we've all gotten mascara underneath. Not the best. So I'm going to repeat that on the other eye. Base out, wiggle. Oop, got some on my eyelid. That's fine. Wiggle out, wiggle out. And mascara is actually one of my favorite parts because I feel like it really like starts to bring the whole look together. And then for the bottom lashes, we are going to do mascara. Make sure that the tip of your mascara, like right when you pull it out, it'll probably have some like schmutz on the top. You want to wipe that away. And then we're going to do the same thing on the lower lashes, but you don't want to get it too close to the skin because it can go really black really fast. So just a little bit. I have to make these crazy faces while I do it. You know, you have to like pull your cheek. And then right there. And if you don't want to switch hands with mascara, if that like freaks you out, you can just switch one hand, but sometimes I like to use my left hand. Okay. Now, for an everyday look, this would be fine for the eyes, but again, we're doing stage, so I want to add a little extra. So here's where we come in with a highlight. Okay, so I just blinked and I got some mascara down here, but you can just blend it in and rub it away. Oldest trick in the book. There we go. And luckily I have freckles, so if I make small mistakes in my makeup, they tend to just blend in with my freckles. But you can always just use some concealer or something on that. Okay, so I'm going to take a really little brush and I'm going to take a powder highlighter, a little bit, and I'm just going to go right on my cheekbones. And sometimes for stage they won't want you to do this, but I like to a little bit. It kind of makes my skin look a little more healthy, look a little more oily. Some right on the nose, right on the cupid's bow on the mouth, and then I like to take a bunch, like 1, 2, 3, and then put it on my eyelid and my brow bone. So eyelid just right in the center and brow bone. And I find that that really makes my makeup like sit together. Now this will give you more of a shiny look. I like it for my skin, but if you want more of a matte look, just don't do highlighter. Use all matte shadows. I like to use a little bit of a shimmer shadow. I find that it works best for me. But again, up to you, all personal preference. So fake lashes, and we'll do lips last. So if you've never worn fake lashes before, welcome. It's not that bad. Oh, great. So if you were doing from a package, and you can get that little package that has the two, you'll need to cut them down. I like to use like a little baby scissors. This is from Embroidery. And you'll need to cut them down to your eye shape. They should be, you don't want to put them all the way to the inner corner, so they should be about 3/4 of the length of your eyelash. I have these ones from a few of my performances, and you totally can reuse these. And honestly, I like when the glue builds up a little bit. It kind of helps them shape better to your eye. So they just look like this, just a little baby lash. I'm gonna grab my glue. And you really want these to be very curved, so you can take the band like this and you curve it and you kind of roll it, and that helps it stay more curved to sit on your eye. So I'm gonna hold by the lashes, grab my glue. I like the duo with the little brush, and you just wanna waft the glue over it. And you want a good amount on the like top of the band and the back of it that's gonna sit on your lashes to really glue that on there. And then a lot of glues will look a little like iridescent or like holographic, and when they stop looking like that is usually when they're ready to be put on. So you want to wait till the glue is tacky, so you want to wait a little bit. You can blow on it, you could talk to your friend, you could drink some coffee, which I'm actually going to do right now. This is a good time to be pensive. If you're preparing for a performance, you might have music on, or you can go over your lines, or you can use this time for self-reflection, a little meditation. You could do both your lashes, meditate this way. So just gonna blow on this. And when you have glue that's more liquidy, that's when it tends to like glue your eyelid together. Don't worry, it won't happen. You just have to wait long enough. And then something else about eyelashes is, I don't know how well you can see this, but there is a short side that's to this side, and there's a long side. And you always want the short side to go to the inside because you don't want your lashes to like touch your nose. It feels really, really weird. So then putting them on can be a little trickier. You can also use a tweezers to just hold the edge of the lash and help you kind of put it on, but I'm just gonna wing it. I like to put it on with my eye half open, straight to the middle. And then I kind of will push each corner on. Let's see if I can do this in the mirror and you guys can still see. So I'm going in with this lash first. It looks pretty good. The glue's like mostly not holographic anymore. Okay. Collect yourself, and then here we go. I'm just gonna put this right here, and then push the corner down like that, and then grab your other lash, grab your glue, paint it on. While we wait, I'll show you what I do. And I think this just comes from practice. Like, I think the first couple times I put on eyelashes, I would have been like panicking at this point, but it's fine. You can always take it off and put it back on again, but sometimes when you take it off, the glue lifts up some of your other makeup, so I just like to kind of leave it and deal with it later. So you can use an eyelash curler if you want. I don't like to, but go for it. I'm going to grab my mascara again. While this lash is drying, we're going to work on this one we just put on. So it's a little like, I don't think you can see on camera, but it's a little like not really. Ooh, we'll put the inner corner back on. Let's see. There we go. That's better. This side is a lot better. I just like to use the mascara, and you basically want to use it to glue your regular lashes, which tend to sit like this, and your fake lashes, which sit like this. You want to just glue them together. So I like to just kind of go up, go back and forth. And when you glue fake lashes on, you want to get them right next to your lash line, but it goes on top. So if your regular lashes are like this, you want to put the fake lash on so it's like that. And you do want to glue it mostly to your skin, not your lash. Okay, I still have mascara from earlier. Okay, whatever. So here's this eye. and we're gonna go straight towards the middle. I'm gonna make sure this is a little more curved first. It's kind of flat. My glue is definitely ready, but I want to curve it. And you can store these curved. That's why they come in those little things that's like the plastic thing. So here we go. Just gonna put it straight on. Press the outer corner. Okay, this one's going better so far. I hope I didn't jinx it. Inner corner, is it on? Now it's on. Okay, not bad. And then while it's still kind of tacky, I like to just hold it on. Sometimes I feel better. I can feel it better if I don't look in the mirror. Okay. Now the inner corner is where it's going to start peeling off of first, so you want to make sure that that's really down there really well. And it should be plenty sticky, but if you put the glue on when it's still a little dry or anything, you can paint a little more glue over the top and just kind of press it down. So that's looking pretty good. And then you just want to kind of use my finger to just pull the lash up a little bit. So this one was sitting down like that, but I just want to pull it up as I go. There we go. And then mascara. And these lashes are quite intense. I would never wear these in real life. When I wear sunglasses, they like hit my sunglasses. You can see from the side they're quite a lot, but still very fun. They're perfect for stage. But like at NVA, particularly, I would not wear a fake lash. Usually I wouldn't. I would just do a lot of mascara because my lashes are naturally quite long. So I usually just have to work on volume. Okay, I think that's about good. And then from here you can make any final adjustments, add any more blush, anything like that. And then I'm just gonna add some lipstick. This is Brickola from MAC. You can do red lipstick, you can do a muted brown, you could do a liquid, you could do whatever. This one's just a very natural lipstick. It's this color. So here we go. I like to use the shape of the lipstick and just kind of press the outer corner, move in, the other side press and move in. It makes a little heart. And then you kind of outline, and then you go from the bottom lip out. So, one drag, see that? One drag, work out. And you just want to go with your natural lip shape. You can embellish after. And then, one, two. Okay, top lip is mostly done. You can fix the shape and stuff. I don't really like to use lip liner. I just never figured it out, but you totally can if you want. And then bottom lip. And then I'll take you guys over here. There we go. And I think that's about it. So again, you can put more blush on, you can put more contour, or you can put less of things. But that is the final look. We've got our fake lashes on. We have that nice crease that's all blended in there. So as you see, you can put on a lot of makeup if you want, and then you blend it out, and that's what makes it look really, really natural. So that's it for the makeup. I just want to say a big thank you again to New Village Arts and Alan and Eve Stahl for supporting us and everyone else, and I miss you guys so much. I don't think there's been more than a week that I haven't been in the theater since I was a kid. So I really, really miss everybody. I miss seeing all the patrons and subscribers. I want to be on stage so badly. I was actually supposed to be in Into the Woods, which unfortunately has had to be canceled, and my heart goes out to the cast of The Roommate and everyone else. So I'm really excited to be able to see you guys here and to check in with you and keep on watching New Village Arts' new virtual arts series. Bye, guys.